Demons, ghosts, werewolves, mutations made by dumb/mad scientists, they have appeared in horror stories for ages. Nowadays, it's actually hard to find a fictional creature that doesn't have at least one horror movie in their resumes. Hell, even Santa Claus has joined this party. So, what can you do when your audience is tired of the old things that go bump in the night? Why, you create something new. Hey, it worked for Sinister. While the jump scares and horror cliches did their usual damage, people still enjoyed the acting and the atmosphere. And the reactions to the new monster, Bughuul, were quite positive. In one way or another, the movie was good enough to receive the usual and yet dignified reward of a sequel. Yay! Just the trailer was enough to make most fans of the original whimper with a fear that no supernatural threat could compare to. But is this movie a plague or just an average lazy sequel? In Doctor Midnight, let's dissect Sinister 2. Uh, Forgive me, apparently I've put the latest rip-off of Children of the Corn on by mistake? No, this is really the beginning of the movie and it already shows a problem. See the opening of the first Sinister. The colors are in a cold hue, the sound is low, the camera holds still. You might not even notice the branch being cut until the people start to hang. This creates a creepy and eerie atmosphere that you see throughout the rest of the movie. Here, it's like they said, screw it. It doesn't help that the person holding the camera seems to suffer from found footage film ADD. It just fails to make an impression, which I'm sad to say is more than a recurring symptom. This was the nightmare of a boy named Dylan. Besides being unable to dream of better horror scenes, he has to deal with a literal monster in his closet, as well as the proof that jump scares are not nearly as dead as I wish they were. Not even 5 minutes in and we already have a jump scare. We cut to someone you might recognize from the first movie, Deputy So-and-so, promoted from side character to protagonist and seeking guidance from a priest after the murder of the Oswald family. Good, so the priest will ask what happened and then seeing how the houses of the families killed by Bughuul become part of his chain, he may suggest exorcising them or blessing them or...
You don't stop evil. You can only protect yourself from it. Stay out of it.
Or tell him he should just ignore it. Oh, sure, of course. Look, I'm not saying every priest would be helpful in this situation, but seriously,
Do I believe things like you're talking about exist? Yes.
yet I say you should only care about yourself. Screw the others. I mean, it's not like this goes against anything in the Bible after all. Regan would have been screwed if her mother had met this guy instead of Kara's. Speaking of children, Dylan is out with his brother Zack and their mother Courtney, but it seems someone's paying a little too much attention to the family. Wow, Sabo.
That man back there just touched one of my boys.
I can't say this isn't a valid concern. With all the nightmares and being chased down by an abusive father, it's not a spoiler if you all know that's what it is. It's no wonder Dylan can't sleep at night and...
How do you know?
Oh crap, we got to this part. This, for me, is one of the biggest, most glaring issues with this movie. The Children of the Corn wannabe club. In the first movie, the children were, well, creepy. They were those rotting, silent creatures lurking around. I'm not even sure ghosts would be the accurate term. Notice this. Ellison can't see them, yet they get away whenever he turns as if it's a game. Even the way they move is unnatural. And it's as if Ellison can feel their presence. Now, I know they communicated with Ashley somehow. But the point is, we never see that. We don't know if those children have something of themselves left or if Bughuul has completely brainwashed them. We aren't even sure how this process works. And guess what? This mystery is part of the strength of the story. You wonder how the sweet girl went from loving her family to killing them. But in here,
Just no. Do you trust me?
yeah, trust the apparition that talks like Henry from The Good Son. If lack of subtlety isn't this movie COD, it's certainly a factor.
What are you doing here? My uncle said I was gonna show you the thing.
You know, even if you are a little minion of evil, you're still too young to want to see someone's stink kid. Actually, he means the death tapes. While the new ones can be over the top, I admit, I still enjoy them. Dylan, not so much. The following day, the deputy arrives to burn the place, but oops, witnesses. Crap, now I have to kill him.
I'm a private investigator.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Was that your partner back there at the grocery store?
Partner? No, I.
Excuse me, while they're sorting this out, can someone explain to me why this wasn't the deputy's first scene? You know, since the others could have been cut off and literally nothing would have been lost. Come on, seeing the deputy ready to burn the house to the ground is enough. And you're clearly going to explain things to the people who haven't watched the first movie anyway.
Have you ever seen anything on your property that looks like this?
Now, I do like this idea of the deputy taking the mantle, destroying the houses that are part of Bughuul's chain and severing his influence as much as possible. Still, it's a bit sad that becoming the protagonist wasn't enough to give him, you know, a name.
No, ma'am.
It's Courtney.
Okay, Courtney.
While this technique can be used to convey a sense of isolation or symbolism, it doesn't seem to be the goal here. They don't even have him say that everyone calls him Deputy So-and-so, as if he's keeping the nickname that Allison gave him, or, well, anything really. Since it's completely pointless, I have no reason to go along with it. I'll just call him Nick. Nick does some research about the house, but something seems to be wrong. Or he just got a virus. This is one of the few moments when we feel the threat of Bughuul. Yet it's ruined almost immediately when the movie takes it too far. I get that this should seem like Bughuul is warning Nick to stay out of his business, or that while Nick is investigating, he's also making himself vulnerable. But this is an exaggeration, plain and simple. Wouldn't Bughuul walk into him and the bleeding symbol be more disturbing if they appear like that later in the movie? Wouldn't seem like Bughuul is getting closer to Nick each time. Maybe you should have dedicated time to those details rather than useless scenes. However, Nick's not the only one with unwanted visitors. Dylan also can't get Damien's annoying little cousin to leave him alone. Honestly, by now I'd be trying to toss some holy water at him, kick him to the light, getting a dream catcher. Anything that would make this little bastard leave so I could get some sleep. Do me a favor and remember this dream, will ya? In a sort of trance, he heads down and stumbles across Bughuul while doing nothing else. And Bughuul also does nothing whatsoever. And guess what we feel? Nothing! What the hell? Seeing this creature near a child should be terrifying, even if you don't know what he does. It already doesn't help that we just saw Bughuul haunting Nick. Oh, and yeah, mind telling me what we do get instead?
We all had the dreams.
The movies make the dreams go away.
Join us, Dylan. Be one with us, Dylan. Actually, screw that. Even a cult would be subtle when trying to recruit someone. Speaking of which, his brother is jealous that the cast of the future Return of the Screw remake has chosen Dylan instead of him. I would ask why, since they are such a pain in the neck, but I had almost forgotten that Zack was in this movie at all, to be honest. Oh look, Bughuul is right there, I'm just so scared, wow. Damn, what an attention whore. Nick arrives to check the church in hopes of... you see, he... Look, I'm not sure there's some clue he could find in there, or if he's just making sure this house is part of Bughuul's chain or whatever. But I guess there is little he could do for now anyway. And since it has been, 2 minutes since we last saw something, we can play Statue with the Dead Children because, hey, why not? And also get another jump scare, of course. Bughuul, I don't know if you're hoping to annoy Nick into giving up, but you're certainly annoying me.
Hello? Are you like the new Professor Jonas or something?
God, I hope not.
I want to stand out as my own character in this movie rather than a cheap replacement made for just delivering exposition. Too bad that's what you are. Before leaving, Nick notices that Dylan seems to be feeling a little down. If it's because of the nightmares or because he's in this movie, I can't tell you.
You having nightmares?
What do you do to stop the dreams?
Try to help people.
You know, it seems like this give you a glimpse of what this movie could have been. This conversation between Nick and Dylan is quite heartwarming, and I invested in Courtney's situation. We could throw Bughuul and his band of merry ghosts out in the rain to focus on this plot alone and would still be interesting. Speaking of which, the ex-husband arrives to take the children away, but Nick realizes it's a bluff.
Child custody transfer is responsibility of the sheriff. Whew. The press got a hold of it, trying to make a child abduction look like a custody transfer.
Hey, I'm not leaving without my boys. I'm sorry. I can't lose my job over this. I got kids too.
You know that, we beat them up together. Honestly, this is more disturbing than the so-called threat of Bughuul. While it's pretty clear that the husband exists only so Courtney and the kids will be forced to leave the house, the portrayal of control and abuse is still pretty unsettling.
Clint always ate first.
Well, I'm not Clint, so go ahead, eat.
It's like this movie is trolling you, showing you glimpses of what it could have been, only to then return to the so-called main plot. Wait. Remember how in the first movie it was a big reveal that the kids were killing their own families? And Elson only found out about it because Bughuul left the cut endings for him to watch right before Ashley killed her family? Likely because Bughuul is a sadist? Well then, what the fuck is that? Even if we argue that they have no reason to hide anything, since they are trying to brainwash Dylan or whatever, this isn't even part of the ending, it's right before the murders. I know I'm probably nitpicking, but I'm just bringing this up because the damn movie treated it like a big deal first. I know it's a minor detail, but it really bothers me. You can't break the rules of behavior you created for your monster just like that and expect people to ignore it. While this breach of consistency happens, Zack's still jealous that his brother is the one being woken up every night to watch wannabe snuff movies. And he wants to know why the American version of Corpse Party picked Dylan instead of him. He's cooler than his brother.
You're not good enough to be one of us. You're not smart enough to do what he can do.
You can sit with us only if you do our homework and kill your family.